Business and civic leaders gathered in Minot today to discuss challenges facing the current workforce. The Minot Area Chamber EDC hosted the first Workforce Summit at the Minot Area Workforce Academy. The event featured 4 speakers tied in some capacity to the state's workforce industry. Business owners gained insight on workforce resources, state programs, and challenges job applicants are facing. Top challenges included working parents seeking childcare, resources for military spouses, filling applicant pools, and more. Katie Ralston-Howe with the ND Department of Commerce shared that although challenges are present, the workforce sector is improving.
The problem is not solved. It's never going to be fully solved, but we're seeing progress, and that's what we're driving toward.
As solutions are being found to continue workforce growth in North Dakota, Jessica Thomason shared more on an area that could use more assistance.
Seeing childcare as a necessary conversation for employers, for families, for communities.
Thomason said that access to childcare can impact staff turnover for employers.